Hi, y'all are. It's your buddy George Jones over at Bergen Gun Range with my next installment, my first installment on If You Could Only Have Three Guns. Now, this thing came up with some of the small channel YouTubers that I associate with have been doing the videos of if I could only have three guns, or if I could only buy three guns. So, and what their three guns would be. So I thought about that long, hard, and small channel YouTubers tend to get things going among themselves. If one of them does it, then all of their buddies who are associated in some way or another with being a small channel YouTube also, they tend to jump on the bandwagon and go with it. And I'm no exception. I want to be a part of the group too, So, if I could only have three guns, part one. If I could only have three guns, and after thinking about this for a long and hard time, I'm a big fan of this guy. I'm a big fan of this guy. I'm a big fan of this guy, and 4-inch 38 and 357 caliber revolvers and so forth. I'm a big fan of H&R revolvers. I guess I like Heritage Rough Riders a lot. I don't own one, but I've managed to pass off about 6 of them in the last 2 years, and it won't be long until I'll be doing it again. And after thinking about it long and hard, H&R Sportsman, 929, 992, Ruger Standard Model Mark II, 1911, P38, Star BKM, BM, and so forth. Different handguns that I absolutely love, G11P or PT111G2, things of that nature. I finally decided what it would be, and here's why. Here's the gun. The Taurus 992 tracker. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's not a tracker. Well, I'm telling you, it says tracker right there on it. It says it's on there someplace. Yeah, it says it right along there. It's not engraved in there very deep, but it says tracker right along there. It's very lightly engraved. You can't see it on camera, okay, but it's on there. You can't see the 22 Magnum on there neither, but it's on there. And that's why I like this gun. And if I could only have one handgun, it would be this one. Why? Well, here's why. Drop that cylinder open. This is the Magnum cylinder. Push that button. Pull that out. Put the 22 long rifle, short, long, and long rifle cylinder in it. And it's a different gun. Now, and keeping up with, if you're not shooting the gun, you're not making gun content concept. Let's shoot it a little bit. In 22 long rifle. It holds 9. It's a 4-inch barrel. It also comes in 6. I like the 4. Some people call it a sling blade. Some people call it a Kaiser blade. But it holds 9. And it shoots really good. Okay? And it converts to 22 Magnum. And as a double action revolver that converts to 22 Magnum from 22 long rifle, that's fairly unique. It's 4-inch barrel. It's small enough that you can conveniently carry it. It's in caliber 22 Magnum as well. 22 Magnum is a big enough caliber to be a defensive firearm. Okay? It's big enough to create enough damage on an assailant to make him stop what he's doing. Okay? It's big enough to take on a groundhog, a coyote. With a little bit of applied marksmanship and Kentucky windage and elevation, you could probably take out a white-tailed deer with this gun, you know, pretty easily. It'd have to be a headshot. It'd have to be a spine shot. But yes, you could do it. So, for its versatility, accuracy, range, power, and capabilities, my choice for, if I could only have one handgun, is the Taurus Tracker Convertible. It's the, make sure we got the model number right. Well, it don't even say what it is. It is the 992. Now, I don't even know if this gun's still in production. I don't even know if it's on their catalog. But it's one of my outstanding guns that I'll always truck with as long as I can keep it. Well, that's about the size of that on installment one. If I could only have one gun, my choice for I could only have one handgun. Like I say, Sheriff I, commentate and subscribe. Leave me a $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to. I'm probably getting tired of hearing that, ain't you? But be kind to everyone you meet. Love your neighbor. God bless you. And I'll see you soon. Bye now. This is your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range with my second installment on if I could only have 3 guns or if I could only have one of each. So a lot of the small channel YouTubers have been producing these series of videos, you know, if I could only have one gun or if I could only have 3 guns, you know, what would they be? Up to this point, it would be the Taurus 992 convertible 22 Magnum and 22 long rifle revolver in a 4-inch, which is a gun that I have. And I like it a lot. So the next category would be if I could only have one rifle. Okay? Fixing to shoot this gun, so I'm going to put these eyes on. If I could only have one rifle, what would it be? Well, you know, I've got AR-15, I've got an M1 rifle, I've got an M14, I've got a 270 Safari Ruger, I've got, you know, a 17 WSM and a 17 HMR and a SCAD of 22 long rifle caliber rifles, you know. So if I had to choose one rifle out of my personal inventory that I could do just about anything with that I wanted to do with a rifle, it would be this one, the Henry. This is a Henry 22 Magnum standard model, and this is the rifle that I would choose. And this is why I would choose this rifle. It's in 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire. That means you can get a lot of different types of cartridges to go in it. You can get standard velocity. Yeah, just like a standard low velocity 22 long rifle, except in a 22 Magnum. You can get defensive ammunition. You can get rapidly expanding hollow point ammunition. You can get solid lead projectiles. You can get copper wart lead projectiles. And they all up there around, you know, 2,000 feet a second. So you could take on just about anything with this gun. Now, certain things you might have to shoot twice. You know, an assailant, for instance. You know, a person that's willing to harm you, you might have to shoot him twice. But I can't imagine it, because this thing has a lot of penetration. The bullets have a lot of expansion. They have a lot of power for their size. the 22 Magnum punches way above its weight class. You know, you can kill a white-tailed deer with this thing. Probably needs to be a headshot. You know, probably needs to be a neck shot. You can take small game with this guy. It's a good squirrel gun. It's a good groundhog gun. It's a good coyote killer, like that. So this would be my choice for a rifle, would be the Henry in 22 Magnum. You can put scope on this gun. It's an extremely accurate rifle with open sights. Just overall, a really good gun. And you can carry a tremendous amount of ammunition with you for a long time with it. You know, if you had to bail out and hit the woods, you know, you could take this rifle with you, and 400 rounds, a basic combat loadout of 400 rounds is not very much to pack compared to a basic loadout of 400 rounds of 30-06, or even 400 rounds of 5.56. You know, you can make a pretty good showing of yourself with this gun. So in keeping with, I don't believe you're making firearms content unless you're demonstrating a gun. That's hot. That's still hot. Now, in all fairness, I've shot this gun a lot. As a matter of fact, I just about broke the bank, you know, buying 22 Magnums so I could take this gun out and shoot it. Well, there you have it. That's my pick for a rifle. If I could only have one rifle. Like it, take, share, pie, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me a $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to on the way out the door. And we'll leave the light on for you. All right then. Love your neighbor. Be kind to everybody you meet. But have a plan. God bless you. We'll see you later. So how y'all are? Here we are on the third installment of I could only have 3 guns, or I could only have one of each kind. What would I have? Well, you know, all the YouTube guys that get out there and do that, the small YouTube guys that I know and associate with. So I thought, well, I hate to copy somebody else, but then again, if everybody's doing it, I want to be a member of the group too. So recently I reviewed what I would like to have if I could only have one handgun. What I would want if I only had one rifle. What I would have if I only had one shotgun. And now we're down to the one shotgun. So what would I have? Well, I've got an 870 Magnum Express. I've got 2 or 3 really nice 870 trap configuration guns. I've got a multitude of different barrels that I can apply to 870s to put them in different rolls. I've got a 410 870, 220 gauge 870s. I got an old 16 gauge 870, one of them old ones with a corncob forearm on it. You know, I've got 5 Mossbergs. One of them's an AOW. A couple of them are youth models. You know, I've got several shotguns and several single shot shotguns. And in different gauges, 410, 20, 28, and so forth. If I could only have one shotgun, what would I have? Well, I'd have this one. The H&R, this one is a topper with a 30-inch full choke barrel. Now, why would I select this gun over all of the other shotguns that I've got? Well, if I could only have one, I want the most versatile one. This is a 12 gauge, so it shoots 12 gauge. Well, 12 gauge is the most common gauge available in America, okay? 12 gauge is the one that has the gauge that has the most specialty ammunition for it. Everything from dragon's breath to mini shell deer slugs and so forth, beanbag rounds, and just to name a few. So, you know, you've got a lot of things you can do with a single shot shotgun that you can't do with a pump. I've got 2 subcaliber devices for a 12 gauge shotgun that only work in a single shot shotgun. One of them is in 9mm parabellum, and one of them's in 44 Magnum. You know, so I can take this gun and shoot a 44 Magnum out of a 9-inch barrel with it, you know, and use it that way. I can take a deer with it. I use a 12 gauge deer slug. I can use it on wild hogs, shoot double-aught and number 4 buck. I can use it with rabbit hunting with number 8s or number 6s, bird hunting, you know, and defensive applications. You know, you can load that thing up with double-aught buck, number 4 buck. You can load it up with steel BBs, and it's a fairly effective defensive firearm. A little long in a defensive firearm situation, yeah, but very effective. So, you know, I mean, you can shuck them through a 12 gauge pump pretty quick, you know, but if you've got them handy, you know, you can run them through a single shot pretty quick. Single shot will shoot about every 4 seconds, you know, and those are aim shots. So, overall, if you only had one, my pick would be a good quality 12 gauge single shot, like this Harrington Richardson, okay? And I would want this one because it has the most longevity. These guys last a long time. They're very well designed, you know, and they hold up really good. You just hardly ever see one of these up for repair. And when you do, it's fairly easy, okay? So that's my pick for, if I could only have one shotgun, there it is, H&R Topper 12 gauge. All right then, we'll see y'all when we see you. Love your neighbor, John the NRA. God bless everybody. Get your shots, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye now.